Welcome to Q&A practice. We'll get started with the defense. Ready? Were you in your liquor store on Saturday evening or at any time on the evening of Saturday? Yes, sir. Did you close the premises? No. What time did you leave the premises? I would say it was around 5 o'clock in the evening. And when did you next go to the premises? I opened up Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. When you arrived at your liquor store on Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, was the building in the same condition that it was in when you left it on Saturday at 5 o'clock? You mean, was anything noticeably different Sunday morning from the way you left it Saturday night? It was the same except for the broken window. There was a broken window? Yes, sir. The window was not broken when you left on Saturday afternoon? No. Will you please describe the broken window as best you are able? There was a hole about 2 feet high and about 18 inches wide, and it had one piece of broken glass about 6 inches square still hanging on the bottom. What else? I noticed there had been a half-gallon of wine that had been broken. There was wine all over the inside right near the window where it had run down. Outside of that and the glass, that is about all. What was behind the window in the store? There was a full case of some gin. I'm not sure how many bottles of rum were there right where the hole was. It had been a couple of days since I put those bottles up. Was the liquor in cases or was it on the shelf? It was sitting on the shelf. In other words, did you have a display counter in back of the window? Yes. Let's practice now some for voice from our transcript. And we'll start with the plaintiff. Ready? Okay, and how they patrol. So there was just 3 days where I was observing them. Okay, patrol. While in that 3-month field training mode. When I say area, I mean the geographic area. What geographic area did you cover with, for example, with Scott Strong? My entire time with Scott Strong. You want to know what geographic area I covered with him? Yeah. Was there a lot of different locations you covered with him? There were just a few. The beginning of our phase started out with 2 or 3 days of patrolling the unincorporated areas. When you say unincorporated, what it would Go ahead. It would include around Riverside. Would it include the area where this accident happened? Yes. That would be during the month you were with him? The first few days. Okay. And then after that, we went over to the interchange of the 5 and the 22. Okay. And how about with Susan? I don't mean to be overly informal. Or Officer Arnold. With both Officer Arnold and Officer Morris, we tended to patrol the areas of the 522 interchange and the east end of our area, which is the 57 and 60 interchange. So you never patrolled the area where this accident happened with either Officer Arnold or Morris? Correct. With regard to Officer Strong, you spent maybe a few days patrolling the area where this accident, or that included where this accident happened? Yes. And then after that couple of days, you covered another area? Yes. And the other area I think you mentioned was what? The 5 and 22 interchange. That seems to be a popular spot, huh? Correct. Okay. And of the few days that you spent with Officer Strong when you were in the patrolling the area which included this area, how many times do you think you would have gone past, if you did, the location where this accident happened while you were with Strong? Approximately 3 or 4 times. And because that would have been in the first few days of your training, the very beginning of your field training, I'm sure there's a lot of communication at that moment, or that first few days, with you and Officer Strong, where, you're pretty much focusing on him and what he's saying and the like. Is that true? Yes. Did you investigate any accidents that happened in the location where this accident happened while you were on your field training with Officer Strong? No. Did you make any stops in any way in the area where the accident happened? No. Do you have any particular memory as you sit here today, and even going by the location where the accident happened with Officer Strong? No. Prior to the beginning of your field training with Officer Strong, had you ever been by the area where the accident happened before in your life? Not to my knowledge. Okay. Without telling me any addresses, can you tell me what, at the time of the accident, what city you lived in? I lived in Santa Ana. And then, after your field training, 3 months was completed around May of 10. What did you do with CHP? I then began patrolling as a solo officer. And where did you start to patrol? I began patrolling many different areas for the next 9 months. Okay, let's start in I'm going to try and do things in chronological order so you'll follow me. As soon as you finished your field training service or instruction, What was the first area that you were assigned to patrol? Well, it doesn't really work that way. It will change for every day of the week. Okay, where we patrol. Why don't we do it this way? Tell me all the areas in that next 9-month period where you patrolled. I patrolled the majority of the work days or the work week. Let's do it however you want to do it. What was your work week, by the way? I typically would work Tuesday through Sunday Thursday through Sunday. It was a 4-day work week. On Thursday and Friday, I would usually work somewhere along the 522 interchange area, an area you've become very familiar with. Correct. And on Saturdays and Sunday, I would either work the area of Tustin or the area of Santa Ana. I'm hearing what you're saying. You're kind of lumping things together. So there were 2 areas. There was either the Tustin Avenue area or the Santa Ana Tustin Avenue area. That will conclude our Q&A practice.